Top Wall Street investment firms participate in Ripple's private roadshow, signaling a growing interest in a potential initial public offering. By the way, Ripple locked back 900 million XRP into its escrow account shortly after it released 1 billion tokens for June. We will also be looking at XRP's state with the recently introduced Clarity Bill. Finally, financial analyst Linda Jones believes Ripple should conduct its IPO when XRP is low-priced, but will it prevent an inflated market cap? Stick with me till the end to find out more. Hello everyone and welcome to our channel, where we talk about the latest updates on XRP and the cryptocurrency world in general. If this is your first time watching one of our videos, we happily send you a special welcome. We invite you to hit on the notification bell so you never miss another video. We are announcing that this channel has a giveaway of 200 XRP. To stand the chance of participating, all you have to do is simply subscribe to the channel, like this video and comment with the hashtag XRP, and the winner will be announced on the 15th of June. In a significant development highlighting Ripple's growing enthusiasm, top investment firms on Wall Street recently participated in a private marketing event to generate interest in a possible initial public offering for the company. In a recent tweet, Eleanor Terrett, a journalist at Fox Business, revealed that Ripple hosted a private roadshow in April to attract potential investors and generate interest in Ripple's IPO. She noted that numerous reputable institutional investment firms on Wall Street reportedly attended the event. Notably, this update from the UK journalist comes shortly after it was reported that an expert analyst previously delivered an estimate of Ripple's valuation, presenting a situation where each share goes for $600 following a successful public listing. Terrett emphasized that Ripple's move in April does not indicate an immediate IPO announcement in the coming months. She highlighted that preparing for an IPO typically takes a minimum of 6 months. However, the fact that Ripple engaged in discussions with prominent Wall Street analysts during the roadshow signifies its commitment to exploring the possibility of going public. Following Terrett's tweet, prominent XRP lawyer, Deaton, shared his perspective on the matter. He stated that if Ripple wins the ongoing legal battle with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission or receives a lenient ruling, along with a determination that XRP sales are not securities, the lawsuit could ultimately benefit Ripple. If Ripple wins the SEC lawsuit along with a ruling that ongoing and future sales of XRP are not securities, the lawsuit will prove a blessing in disguise for Ripple, the lawyer remarked. Deaton's comment implies that Ripple may find itself in a more favorable position by the end of the litigation, enabling the company to leverage its technology and expand its presence in the blockchain industry. Ultimately, Ripple's ability to attract the interest of influential institutional investors through the roadshow underscores the growing interest in the company amid its resilience despite the legal hurdles stationed by the SEC lawsuit. On the other hand, data from cryptocurrency whale tracking service Whale Alert shows that Ripple recently sent back 900 million XRP to escrow less than 24 hours after it released 1 billion coins. Recall that the Silicon Valley firm released 1 billion XRP on June 1st as part of its usual procedure, as previously reported. A few hours after the 1 billion XRP escrow release, Whale Alert detected 3 transactions involving a total of 900 million XRP transferred back into the escrow wallet. Each involved 200 million XRP, 300 million, and 400 million XRP. The first transaction, which occurred on June 1st at exactly 2018 UTC, saw Ripple lock back 200 million XRP worth $101.79 million in escrow. The second transaction occurred barely 5 minutes later and involved the transfer of 300 million XRP valued at $152.7 million to the escrow wallet. 2 minutes later, Ripple carried out the third transaction, locking an additional 400 million XRP worth $204.18 million in escrow. This suggests that Ripple has locked 90% of the 1 billion XRP coins it released on June 1st. It is worth noting that the development has been a routine procedure for Ripple. The firm usually locks a significant amount of the XRP coins it releases from escrow monthly while using the remaining tokens to fund business operations. Notably, Ripple locked back 700 million XRP into escrow last month. The transactions occurred 16 hours after it released 1 billion tokens from escrow for May. This process helps maintain XRP price stability amid the ongoing SEC lawsuit. The recent escrow executions coincided with an impressive price movement from XRP as the asset has registered a 2.3% gain in the past 24 hours, currently changing hands at 51 cents at the time of reporting. The sixth largest cryptocurrency has been recording slight gains in the past week. Over the past 7 days, XRP has rallied more than 11%. For several market watchers, the recent price surge suggests that investors are confident of Ripple winning the SEC lawsuit. Meanwhile, there is still no official date to determine when the summary judgment decision might come. Notably, there is ongoing speculation that the case will be concluded before the end of this month. As reported earlier, an XRP community member shared facts supporting widespread speculation. Furthermore, crypto law founder attorney John Deaton has reacted to a new bipartisan Securities Clarity Act introduced in the House by Representatives Darren Soto and Tom Emmer. The Securities Clarity Act, introduced earlier this week, would clarify that a digital asset offered as an investment contract at its early stage does not necessarily become a security. If the bill is passed, the Securities Clarity Act will make it difficult for the U.S. SEC to claim that most crypto assets fall under its regulatory purview. Reacting to the development, Attorney Deaton expressed sadness that the bill is needed due to the SEC's unending efforts to expand the Howey test into secondary markets. He noted that the out-of-control regulators have been trying to expand the Howey test into secondary markets despite being unable to cite a case where the underlying asset of an investment contract is considered a security. This perceived overreach has led to numerous enforcement actions against crypto-focused firms, including LBRY and Kraken. Industry leaders continue to lament the extent of regulatory unclarity in the industry. Despite this marked extension of the Howey test, SEC Chair Gary Gensler could not clarify if XRP or Ethereum is security during the latest congressional oversight hearing. The recently introduced Securities Clarity Bill came up shortly after Congress grilled Gensler in the oversight hearing. It bears mentioning that the Howey test is a legal test that helps determine whether a transaction constitutes a security. The test has been one of the most debated topics since the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit began. The U.S. SEC argues that Ripple's XRP sales satisfy the prongs of the Howey test. Interestingly, the regulatory watchdog's argument has been countered by Ripple's attorneys and other top lawyers like Deaton, who have closely followed the lawsuit. Per Deaton, the SEC has stretched the Howey test to the point that it has become indefinable in time or space. Deaton argued that the SEC performed a shorthand analysis in its Howey test application for XRP. He asserted that the test must apply to each transaction. Aside from expanding the Howey test, the SEC also failed to distinguish between investors who purchased XRP from Ripple and those who acquired the asset from secondary markets. XRP enthusiasts believe the move is part of the Commission's plot to implicate secondary market sales of the coin. Interestingly, the plot was pushed back by attorney Deaton and more than 75,000 XRP investors via an amicus curiae brief. Attorney Deaton believes the amicus curiae brief filed by XRP holders will prompt Judge Annalisa Torres to comment on XRP's secondary market sales in her upcoming summary judgment decision. Now to the big question of the day: should Ripple conduct its IPO when XRP is low priced to prevent an inflated market cap? Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel and also hit that notification bell to be the first person to get more updates about the latest happenings as regards to XRP. Renowned crypto expert Linda Jones has shared her insights on Ripple's potential initial public offering, suggesting that it would be strategically advantageous for the IPO to take place when the price of XRP is low. Jones believes a lower XRP price would prevent an overly high market cap, making it more favorable for Ripple to go public soon after resolving the ongoing lawsuit. Jones expressed her thoughts in response to a query from a U.S. Air Force veteran Mark Phillips about the advantage of Ripple being a publicly traded company instead of a privately held one. She elaborated on the benefits of Ripple becoming a publicly traded company, including attracting new institutional customers more effectively. In addition, the regulatory oversight and transparency of being a publicly traded company could create a competitive advantage for Ripple in the ever-evolving crypto landscape. In a similar conversation thread, Jones also pointed out several reasons why she believes Ripple's IPO could happen sooner rather than later. Firstly, she mentioned a private roadshow meeting with analysts in April 2023, indicating that Ripple is actively engaging with experts and seeking their insights. Moreover, Jones, who has a 25-year experience in the financial industry, noted that companies with sufficient cash reserves, such as Ripple with its $1 billion funds, are better positioned to go public even in a challenging IPO market. The financial expert also highlighted the potential momentum that could be generated by the conclusion of the ongoing lawsuit with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, leading to a strong demand for Ripple's IPO. In a similar discourse, Jones theorized using various indicators that Ripple's valuation would go up more than 20 times its current figure to trade at $600 per share. Ultimately, considering Jones' analysis, Ripple may time its IPO strategically to coincide with low-priced XRP, reducing market cap risk and leveraging legal resolution momentum. So we come to the end of this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please make sure you like the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. This really helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Also, you can help enlighten others just like you have been enlightened by sharing this video to as many people as possible. Let's get this news everywhere, guys. If you are a true cryptocurrency fan, don't miss any of our content. See you tomorrow to talk about the latest news that concerns us all as a community.